Hello, this is Atsushi Hara. I'm a spokesperson for ER Racing. Today I show you all of the ER Racing products line with me. Let's start with this ER Racing Lipo bag. It's actually the safety bag for the frames. It's the batteries. When you charge, you can put inside in the bags, and then so it's really nice fit. And they have a zip, the magic tape in here. You can close like this, and then you have some space on the side. You can have some wires when you charge it, and also you can use this for the storage for the batteries. Actually, they fit about there's three batteries inside. So I put one here. It's actually, you can put three, maybe sometime four when it's really thin thickness of the batteries. So I use this for transportation to go race, and plus when you charge, you must use the bag for the safety reason. So this is my kind of the must item for when you're going to the racetrack. The second one is the car stand, which is I always use my 10-scale touring car in my pit, put like this. Basically, when you want to set up the car, you need to change for the setup things. Always come with the tools. This is ER Racing racing tools, and also different size. This is 2mm. Which is popular size. So mostly I use a 2 or 1.5 for the 10-scale touring cars. So when you want to change something or setup, it's easy with the stand all the times. And then this stand, when you rebuild the shocks, and also you have the hole to the shock put inside here, or the rear gear depth when you want to change oil, you can use for the stand with this hole. Actually, you have 8 hole here, so you can have the shocks, 4 shocks, and then 4 depth, or 8 of the shocks. Also, they have different 2 types, 2 holes the size. One is bigger, one is smaller. So it depends on which diameter of the shock. So also you can put in here. And also this is the mix with the carbon plate on the main plate, and then with the aluminum the stay for to make it, put in the screws, 5 screws each side. So you can build easy, and then with the foams for non-slip when you put on the car. So this is looks really cool and lightweight. And if you want to take it out for when you want to put the back, if you have no space, you can the disassembly to make more flat and then to save your space. So this is really good idea, and plus really good functions. So this is one of the favorite, the car stand, best ever I have. And also when it's a setup, and this is the camber gauge. We call setup stations. You can put in the wheels to check the cambers. So this is always collect the number of the camber when you check it. So normally I put like 1 or 2 degrees on the front, in between sometimes. Depends on the race conditions and tires. And also you can check with the toins, front and rear. Normally I use almost every single time to check, just make sure car doesn't make any the change left and right, or something change after run. So basically, maybe you don't need to check every single batteries run, but it's at least I check maybe 2 or 3 times per day. Just make sure to check everything, or the camera is good or not. And then the range of the camber is negative, positive 15 degrees. So which is should be all cover or any the categories, even include the drift cars. So normally racing car we use only 0, 1, 2, maybe maximum 3. But for the drift car, I think it's sometimes put a lot of camber. So 15 degree range I think is more than enough for sure for every single car. So this is also must item for when you want to make the good setup. And when you want to change the camber, most of the car use a turnbuckle in here. Change front toe in, toe out, front and rear the camber, the angle with this length of the turnbuckle range. Actually 3 millimeters, 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 5.5 diameter of the size for the turnbuckles. So this one is 4 degree, the 4 millimeters for ER racing titanium turnbuckles. So this is, it's really useful to change the cambers with this. Some of the brands have 3 millimeters small diameter, some of the brand like 5.5, or maybe A-scale buggy size is 5.5. So it's basically, if this 4 different size should be covered for most of the turnbuckle size. So when you have this turnbuckle range, then you can use for most of the cars. So next one is ER racing, the cooling fans. This is really high speed cooling fans. Actually we have the size, 25 mm to 40 mm. Also the material of the case. That one is the plastic, one is the aluminum. Aluminum even better for cooling, for fan self. And plus more the quality, it's like more the better with the aluminum, the case. So normally I like to use for modified models touring cars, I use aluminum case, the put front of the motors, and it's really strong with an aluminum case, just in case sometime in a big crash, it's just stay strong with in the cars. Normally for the stock motors have more heat from motors, so they like to use the bigger case like this ones, and this one have just more wind tunnel in here. So basically more air come with the behind, and then it's like make more stronger the wind. And plus this is 40 millimeter size, which is more bigger fan, more thin inside. So this is more also the more stronger. So normally used for stock motors, one of the 40 millimeter size, or maybe you can use 2 if you have enough space on the top in here or the front or back. But basically now this layout of the mid shaft cars is you have not much space on the back. So normally you can put on the front of the motors, and sometimes you can put on the top with some special stay. They recommend to use for stock motors like big size of big tunnel the fans, or this 40 millimeter size. Or if people looking for the lightweight fans, it's a plastic case. And if you're looking for stronger the case and aluminum ones, I recommend it for both. The next one is the capacitor for special stock racing, the high power capacitor. The ER racing called super cap, which is like the many of the capacitor inside of the aluminum case. The aluminum case with a heat sink, so this is also good for cooling. And you can connect to the batteries, the plug on the speedos plus and minus, and put double side tape on the cars or just side of the speedos. So basically this super capacitor to make more punched when you lift off the throttle, when pull again, can charge inside of the capacitor. So this is basically make more the punched exit of corners, or any kind of when you start from off throttle and then on power, and then you have more the punch from this capacitor. I think it's you must use for this for the stock motor racing, because if we have one battery here, but you need extra energy from the capacitor. So especially for stock racing, I think the punch is really important. So I don't use for modified motors because it's already too much power from motors. But any kind of stock racing, I recommend use this, the super capacitors. And also this is racing item, the aluminum, the servo horn. It's really nice design, super lightweight, and the cut the chamfer after that analyze, so it looks like a two-tone silver and black, and it's already installed in my cars on my servo. This is a kind of thin type, so when you have big crash, maybe it can be bent. But we have also stronger type, much more wider the material. So we have two types, super lightweight or super strong one. So I like to use lightweight because of lightweight it's make more always fast. So I like to use a lightweight one. At this moment I didn't make any the problem with this thin type, but I think it depends on the track material. If they have wood board on the corners, maybe more damage on the servo horn. So I recommend to use the bigger type of the servo horn. And also you can have two holes for the connecting. So one is the shorter, one is longer. Normally I like to use the longer ones, like more response. But sometimes if you have two quick response, you can use the bottom holes to make more smoother. So you have two options for this servo horn. And yes, this is the tools. I always use it for with me. Racing tools. They have a different size of the size of the hex, 1.5 to 3 millimeters, each 0.5 millimeters, and also lightweight. It's the grab handle size. The feeling of the handle also really good. And also they have two colors, actually three with a cap, but basically the two tones like black analyzed with the gold, that analyzed here. So looks also really nice on the pit table. And I like to also use the pit mat. This is perfect size for the 10 scale. If you have not enough space for the table, if small size of table, I think this side of the pit mat is always useful. And with the pit, always you need a light with for whatever you do for the chain setup. It's always better to bright light put on the pit. And also this is come with the pass tray, so it's really stable because the big size of the plate here. So you can put anything like nut or screws, anything's put in here. Even like a turnbuckle wrench is long size, but you can put here in easily. You don't lost anything on here. So this is what I use all the time in the pit. And this is the new ones that just came for when you make the body show to cut for the wheel arch. I have a body here. This is really the good design for this. You can use just the basic line you cut first, and then you put like this, and then you can use a Sharpie to mark on the wheel arch wherever you want. It depends on the body positions. If you're more forward, I think it's the wheel arch more will go back, and then the body go more back, and then the wheel arch more go front. And also you can see the two sides have a space. One is for the 10 scale touring car size, which is like 65 millimeters here, because the tire size is about 64. So if you cut 65 perfectly, then you don't touch anything on the tire for the wheel arch. And then inside line, this is for mini chassis, like 56 millimeters. So also you can use this inside line for the make marking for the mini chassis. And plus you have you can make lower body line for marking with these 3 holes. And these 3 holes, the lowest one is 8 millimeters, and the middle is 9, and the highest one is 10. So you can put like this, and then you can make slide like this with the Sharpie, and then you can make a perfect line for almost everywhere to 8, 9, 10 millimeters. So normally when you they put on a car, the body shop put on a car, and then put tires, and then set light height, and then just put on the table, and then you can slide to make perfect line for 8 millimeter or 9 or 10. I recommend 8. This is the minimum distance, not too much, not too less. So this 8 I think is very nice numbers, but also depends on the body shop brand. That depends on also light height, depends on the track conditions. If they have a lot of bumpy track, I think it's sometimes 9 is better, even 10 millimeter better sometimes. It depends on the curve height or the bumps, how big the bumps. So I think this is one of the best solution to make. You can check perfectly to the bottom line of the body shell, and also never mistake with the wheel arch, not too small, not too big. So this is easy to make to cut the body shell. So yeah, this is all the new products from Air Racing, and also which is I use it all of them in my pit all the time. So so this is all of the Air Racing racing gear. Thank you.